Welcome back to Talkville, folks. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving last week, and we're excited to be here with you. You know what we do here, and we're at episode 21, which means this episode and then the finale. I can't believe we've gotten through 5 seasons, and we couldn't have done it without you. So thanks. Join Patreon, patreon.com/Talkville if you want the show to continue. Support us. I mean, I always say it's like a streaming service. If you like it, Pretend we charge something.
Put a ring on it.
So we don't raise our rates every 8 months. Yeah.
We don't raise our rates. It's whatever you want to pay. It's like, can you imagine if HBO was like, whatever you think?
Yeah.
They wouldn't make anything.
Dare.
Which we don't. If you didn't get a chance to call in our hotline, leave a question for this episode. Make sure you do for future ones. All that and the information is down in the show's description. At Talkville Podcast, at Talkville Pod, talkvillepodcast.com if you want to get some cool merch. Inside of You Online Store, if you want to get some cool Smallville merch. I have some charity items, scripts signed by the entire cast back in the day. They're all my home library stuff for charity, helping a good friend in need who's, I don't have to say what it's for, but it's for someone specifically who lost their son from cancer. And
but you don't need to say it.
Also my Instagram, Matthew Michael Rosenbaum. Go to my link tree and get a book, The Talented Farter. It's my first book. Hopefully you'll support it and you'll get it for the holidays. It's on Amazon, The Talented Farter. It's a sound book. It's all my farts. I wrote it and you'll like it. Tom has a quote in the back of the book.
I think this is a really fun Christmas gift.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tabletop.
Yeah.
It's $20. It's awesome. And so grab one. And then Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath is on Amazon. 1 cap full in your dog's water, tasteless, odorless, and your dog's breath smells great forever.
I use it every morning.
I use it every so do I. Well, my dogs use it every morning. Trust me. What else can we say? I mean, this is a big episode. Without further ado, let's get into season 5, episode 21. This is called Oracle. Title Oracle, May 4th, 2006. It aired. Director Whitney Rancic. Good old Whitney. Writers teleplay Caroline Dries, and story by Neil Sadu, who was Al's assistant for a while, was kind of a writer's assistant. They let him write an episode. And Daniel Solzberg. Neil, I love Neil. Guest star James Marsders as Brainiac Milton Fine. Synopsis: a blast from the past begins to plant nearly fatal seeds of paranoia and mistrust between the Kents and Lionel Luthor. All the while, Lex and Milton Fine's mysterious business dealings reach a point of no return that put the fate of the world.
Guest star Jonathan Snyder.
John Schneider.
Snyder.
Yeah, that was a good part. He did a great job.
He always does.
He always does.
The episode opens on Kent Farm as Clark is greeted by an underwhelming but nevertheless heartfelt surprise birthday party from Chloe, Lois, and his mom. Clark begins opening presents and finds a card from his father. Inside were 2 tickets to a game. Baseball, I believe.
Yeah, which was weird because he never talked about baseball. Your father loved baseball. Never once in any episode did he ever talk about baseball. It was always football.
But there's also basketball. What are the names of the Metropolis teams? There's
Sharks.
The Sharks play football. There's the Wolverines who apparently play baseball.
I don't know that.
That's what this was. He said the Wolverines game.
But he never liked baseball.
Wolverines don't play baseball. That's a horrible.
That's what I was going to say.
Anyway.
Clark leaves to go thank his father by heading to the graveyard. Instead of scalping the tickets, however, he decides to leave them on his father's gravestone. Inevitably, they will be swept away by the wind, but that's a cool gesture.
I got to tell you, though, real quick, the snow in this episode, I was trying to remember,
it looked real.
It might have been real.
I think it was real. They weren't going to pay for a snow machine for such light snow for this little scene. It was real.
Shockingly, Clark turns around and is face to face with Papa.
But is he dead? Something is different. Instead of giving fatherly advice and wisdom, Jonathan is giving Kryptonian-like warnings about death and despair, telling Clark that he needs to stop Lionel Luthor. Already pissed that Lionel's putting the moves on his widowed mother, Clark seems to have no issue with his dead father's requested hit. The next day, Martha tries reassuring her son that he's just seeing things, that sometimes she sees Jonathan too, but he's not requesting murder in those visits. Clark tells his mother this isn't the first time, and that his dabbling in recreational drugs in a couple episodes prior allowed him to see Jonathan in the afterlife. Price has a way with the words.
He does. Lana stops by the Talon to pick up an egregiously long coffee order for Lex and gets confronted by Lois. She tries playing it off like she's getting the coffee for Chloe, who lives in Metropolis, but eventually fesses up to getting it for her new boy toy, and the girls continue to gab. He's not my boyfriend yet.
He's just a guy that I'm making out with passionately. I mean, you can make out with guys, and maybe it's a fling. Maybe Lex is a fling to her.
Well, she doesn't know yet. They're figuring it out.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
They don't know.
Let's see what happens, bro.
Touching mouths a lot.
Right now, she's got lexual healing.
She does.
Yeah, I got
Lois
lexual healing.
seems to have moved on from her translucent boyfriend from the last episode.
Yeah.
Clark heads to the Daily Planet to share his paranormal warnings with Chloe, and even she is having a hard time believing it. When you've lost Chloe Sullivan, you're officially off your rocker. She speculates that Lionel may have a bigger play in motion to manipulate Clark's powers.
Over at the Luthor mansion, Lex walks into his office, gets questioned about his new obsession with Honduras. Neither confirming nor denying his enjoyment of banana daiquiris, Lex goes on to play dumb about his involvement in incredibly dangerous biological warfare that he and Milton Fine are smuggling into the States. Lionel tells him to pull the plug, son, and Lex tells him to put an egg in his shoe and beat it. And just as Lex leaves, Lionel begins to inhibit thriller-like seizures that make him convulse, rushing to his nearest pen and paper to scribble Kryptonian symbols. More evil Lex this season. He has launched a device to kill all the fish of Crater Lake, experimented on vampire sorority girls, and now is developing genocidal biowarfare. But these are all to help people.
He thinks he's making a vaccine.
Yeah, he thinks he's making a vaccine.
But inevitably, just because of who he's tied to, these things take a turn.
Yeah. Hey, hey, look,
listen,
if someone kills someone and you're an accomplice and you're like, no, I didn't know he was going to kill someone. I thought this was, you go to jail.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all great. I was impressed by the fact that John Glover was riding Kryptonian. Like, I was like, that's awesome. Like, he was doing it.
Dude, he committed. Go ahead, Ryan.
And it's also very fortunate that there's like a pen and paper nearby when he's having these little convulsions.
Yeah, thank God. Otherwise,
there was a Sharpie. Thank God there was a Sharpie.
Could you imagine him having to crawl, takes 10 minutes for him to crawl to where's a pen? I need a pen. I'm blind.
I'm having a very intense vision from an alien. I need a pen.
Into his arm or something.
Yeah, it's but businessmen always
the good news is then we get to realize in the next scene that Lionel Luthor is no security either because they walk right into his office. So.
Typical. Talkville is brought to you by Factor Meals. Guys, if you're lazy as hell like me, you need Factor Meals. If you go to the grocery store, which is a pain in the arse, and you get all these groceries, Tom, and then you bring them home and you're like, oh, great. And they sit in your fridge and they rot and you just wasted so much money, or you're ordering from delivery services and wasting money. Why not use Factor Meals? It's so...
Also not for nothing, a very overlooked moment. Is you go to the grocery store, that takes time. It takes longer to check out than you were at the grocery store. Then you get home and you have to unpack. All that is time out of your life.
And then you got to cook it. Factor Meals, you don't. These are meals that are prepared in 2 minutes that are delicious. I use Factor Meals. Tom uses Factor Meals. So many people use this. Factor lets you do you. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced.
Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add to your box, like keto cookies, pressed juices, one of my favorites, and smoothies.
Don't let shorter days slow you down. Stay energized with America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Because Factor Meals are chef-prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only how Factor Meals taste, but also how they support your goals.
Find guilt-free comfort foods like home-style chicken and gravy and loaded mashed potato pork chops. Feel-good vegan options like sweet potato and chickpea curry, and globally inspired flavors like Peruvian shrimp and red pepper collie grits.
I mean, come on. You can't get this anywhere else. I mean, this stuff is delicious. Stay on your A game with quality ingredients you can trust and quality you can taste in every one of Factor's fresh, never frozen meals.
Use your time more efficiently. So important during these dark months. Let Factor take shopping, prepping, cooking, and cleaning off your daily list of things to do.
Head to factormeals.com/50talkville and use code 50talkville to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code 50talkville at factormeals.com/50talkville to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping while your subscription is active. Factormeals.com/50talkville. Talkville is brought to you by Policy Genius. We talk about life insurance and how important it is. If you're listening and you have a family, it is so important to your family and to you to make sure your family is taken care of if something happens to you. And Policy Genius, that's where they come in. Their licensed support team helps you get what you need fast so you can get on with your life. They answer questions, handle paperwork, and advocate for you throughout the process. You know what they do, Tom? They compare quotes from America's top insurers side by side for free with no hidden fees. And I know you have a family, you have this.
Listen, there's times when, like, as actors, we're out of, if you're not working, you're out of work, right? But at least I know my family's protected. I mean, that's a short one.
Yeah. Well, the holidays are here, and but what happens if you're gone? You have to think about these things. You protect your family's future and your peace of mind with Policy Genius. I know so many people who have this and so many people who feel more comfortable that they have this. And life insurance is a form of financial planning. And Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. If you already have life insurance through work, it may not protect all your family's needs or follow you if you leave the job. Join thousands of happy Policy Genius customers who left 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. Secure your family's tomorrow so you have peace of mind today. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com.
Clark and Chloe head to Luthor Corp for a little smart cop, dumb cop. Chloe finesses her way into Lionel's office and begins going through his laptop. Surprisingly, they find out that Lionel doesn't have fun Cinco de Mayo plans, but instead has an appointment with the Inquisitor's top reporter about some sort of weapon. Mistakenly, Clark and Chloe believe Clark to be the weapon.
Speaking of weapons of mass destruction, we see Lex fireside as he's greeted by Lana. She talks about the outlet of having conversations with Lois. Lex admits that something big is going on behind those scenes. Lex proceeds to then share a super confidential file with Lana and make her complicit in potential crimes against humanity by taking her on a fun field trip to the biological warfare testing going on at Luthor Corp. Hey, he's not lying to her.
Eh.
Does anyone else feel that Lana is setting Lex up this whole time?
Does anyone feel like Lex is sort of just showing her, like, I trust you, to see if she, like, testing her?
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
To do what? Like, what would he do if she tells someone?
Well, look at Helen Bryce and look at all these other women who come into his life. And, I don't think he thinks that way, but, he has trust issues. And also, maybe he's sharing this with her because they could be a team and, like, because he thinks he's doing something right, like Ryan said. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Lex thinks he's doing anything wrong ever, really.
Yeah, I don't either.
Far, there's no evil intent.
Looking into Clark after the crash was like anybody would do that.
He has a dark side.
He has a dark side, but like...
He's just like his dad.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Perhaps Lex isn't full evil yet because he tells Lana that they're actually developing a cure-all vaccine to protect against Fine's viruses against humanity. Lana is skeptical about Lex switching on Fine until he reveals that Fine is a shapeshifter of some sort.
Is this a little situation of the firefighter setting fires with Lex exploiting viruses and their solutions for capital gain?
Back in Smallville, Martha returns home to a voicemail from Lionel vaguely warning Clark about something dangerous. Before she can make a call back, she is greeted by a blast from the past, not a hand blast this time, as Jonathan Kent is uncharacteristically vegging out on the couch.
Darkly with shadow-like.
Also, yeah, he doesn't veg. He's like always
Martha,
doing something.
How could you do this, Martha?
I started thinking maybe there was a freak of the week that could...
Shapeshift or something.
Shapeshift. That's what I was thinking at this moment.
He questions her relationship with Lionel and then seems to allude to Lionel being behind his own death. As Jonathan shapeshifts around the house, we then see Milton Fine revealed as the culprit behind Kent's paranoia of Lionel.
It is. There we go. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Over in Luthor Mansion, Lex is receiving AOL intel on Fine's whereabouts when, speak of the devil, Milton Fine walks in looking for a nightcap. Fine accuses Lex of backstabbing and mistrust, but Lex is wary of sharing the vaccine to the public without fully understanding Milton's intentions. Lex attempts to take the upper hand in the conversation by whipping out kryptonite. To his surprise, why would he even think that kryptonite would stop him? He doesn't know that kryptonite could stop. Because if that's the case, why wouldn't he try it on Clark, too?
I forget why he knows this. Doesn't he?
I don't know. And the fact that none of us know puzzles me.
Not good.
To his surprise, he learns Fine is not Kryptonian as Milton draws his sword arm to his neck. Clark meets with Chloe and learns about Jonathan and Lionel's conversation leading up to the death. And Clark believes that Jonathan died protecting the secret and that Lionel is responsible.
Ooh.
Pretty crazy. Pretty sneaky, sis. Connect 4, game by Milton Bradley. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. With this new information, Clark calls out Lionel to the Kents and accuses him of murdering his father as he proceeds to suplex him around the barn. Lionel pleads for his life and tells him that he has it all wrong. From the shadows, Jonathan appears and tells Clark to avenge his
Kill him!
death.
Kill him, Clark.
However, Lionel tells Clark that Jonathan would never want Clark to act out violently. In a sudden state of clarity, Clark realizes that Lionel is right. He heat blasts Jonathan and tells him he's not his father. Then it's an all-out super fight. Jonathan begins kicking his ass and tells Clark he won't kill him yet just because he still plans to use him. The assault gets stopped when Lionel turns into Storm from X-Men, going white contact mode and forcing Jonathan to morph back into Brainiac before disappearing into thin air.
What a way to spend your birthday weekend for Clark.
Seriously.
I mean,
Yeah, but that was awesome.
It was awesome. This scene was intense as hell.
This is Ryan's favorite scene for sure.
Well, let's not talk about it. Clark and Lionel have a post-game wrap-up inside his office at Luthor Corp. They agree to keep this secret from Lex and discuss Fine's mysterious Kryptonian connection. Lionel goes on to share his strange Kryptonian manifesto to see if Clark can comprehend any of the writings. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really cool scene. Butch Cassidy and the Kryptonian Kid head to the Daily Planet to enlist Chloe's help. She learns about Lex and Fine's extinction-level biowarfare and their intention on taking out Lionel from meddling in their plans.
Mm.
She's in the thick of things.
Hoping to get intel on the whereabouts of the lab, Clark heads to Lana's dorm. He gets interrupted by Lois and Lana, who show up and see Clark acting like a totally not obsessed and creepy ex-boyfriend.
No, Lana, it's just like you're in trouble and it's got to do with Lex and
Your research.
you're in my apartment, creepy guy. How about you just knock at the door and say, listen, I need to talk to you instead of showing up in her apartment. That was weird.
Yeah. The bridge too far. He pleads for Lana to share the location of the lab because she doesn't know what she's gotten herself into.
Over at the lab, Fine learns that Lex has mass-produced the vaccine without him knowing in anticipation of Fine releasing the virus to mankind. Fine proceeds to add his black sludge to a vial, mixing it with the vaccine, and then forcefully injects Lex with a concoction. As Lex lays comatose on the floor, Fine dismantles the lab before Clark can arrive to do anything about it.
You looked awfully peaceful on the floor.
Well, there's a reason for it. It was a choice. I wanted a really good nap.
It would have been a day.
Yeah, it was a long day, I'm sure.
I mean,
Dealing with Fine and
yeah.
Clark and labs and
Just
Smallville in general.
acting your little heart out.
Yeah.
So then,
The next day, Lex gets a physical in his office before receiving the third degree from Clark, who arrives to scold him for being double-crossed and not being a good boy who listens to his father. Lex says he was actually the good boy in the situation and that if he gets another call from Lana about Clark snooping through her stuff, that they're going to have problems.
And Clark calls Lex a no-good, backstabbing, sheep-stealing, hootering, girlfriend-stealing friend. Bastard. That's what I use, the Irish, I say, you're a sheep-stealing, hootering bastard.
You bastard.
But Lex says Clark is responsible for pushing her away. And later that night, Lionel arrives at the Kent farm to make a confession to Martha. He tells her that the night Jonathan died, he told him everything about knowing Clark's power. So technically, did Lionel kill Jonathan, sending him up a roof and giving him a heart attack by telling him this information? He was going to die anyway. It was all in the plans. Lex and Lana share some fireside Chinese food in the Luthor mansion to discuss nosy Clark. Lana expresses confusion with Fine's intention with the vaccine, and as she does this, Lex discovers that he has some sort of Wolverine-like self-healing powers now. That was cool. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa. Oh, so this is what that injection was. And that was like, oh boy. So what's going to happen to Lex now?
The episode ends with Clark and Lois chatting in the loft. She tells him that he needs to drop the stalker act with Lana. Not only that, but she reassures him that there is a better model out there for him.
And then they make love.
Eventually.
No, they don't.
Chloe interrupts to share her findings on the Kryptonian manifesto that Lionel was working on, and it turns out that one pattern kept reappearing. Zod is coming.
Zod is coming, folks. Oh my Lord. Who will be
Oh
Zod?
my Zod.
Who will be Zod? Closing thoughts. Where do you think Lex stands with his intentions of good versus evil? Lots of pressure on Lana to prevent this guy from becoming a supervillain.
I mean, good. I think he's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going behind Fine's back as sort of a what do you call it, an audible, just in case. He's doing everything to make sure everything's good.
Yeah, he's not as bad as you think. He's not trying to kill mankind, destroy mankind. Mm-mm. He's trying to create a cure.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Were you surprised that Lana told Clark the location of the lab and backstabbed Lex?
No, because I think she's playing Lex anyway.
You do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why she would. If it's one person who doesn't have ulterior motives, it seems like Lex.
Well, she's trying to protect Clark.
I don't think so. She gave you an ass whooping verbally in that.
That was all
room.
part of the play.
I don't know. Thoughts on Lionel's involvement in the deeper story of Kryptonian stuff? I guess it just always, that's why he knows about Clark's secret. That's why, that whole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember how it started. How did this happen?
I think it was like the end of the last season. He got touched the stone and then started convulsing.
Yeah.
Huh. So he's been doing this a lot, obviously, because we saw what was in that locker full of scribbles. I've been doing this for a year straight. I can't stop convulsing. Gosh, at first I thought it was just a bad dream, but then I was just, when I drink, it's worse. I just start throwing up and writing scribbled shit, Kryptonian shit.
It's just like having a closet full of scripts you write when you're stoned.
Yeah, it's I don't know what these mean, man. Can you decipher? Interesting things of note. Their conversation at the Talon marks the last time that Lois and Lana have an on-screen conversation. Wow.
What?
And there's still 2 seasons left before Lana leaves.
What?
Wow.
Huh?
It's the last appearance of John Schneider as a main cast member and his last on the series until season 10's premiere, Lazarus.
Wow.
And this is the 5th episode, which finishes the phrase, "to be continued."
Continue.
Talkville is brought to you by AG1. Tom and I talk about AG1 probably more than any other product. It's because we believe in it so much and we use it. And those friends of mine, I just gave a box to my friend Joe and I said, dude, you got to try this. And he tried it for a week and he's like, I definitely feel something. I feel like more energy. I feel a little more focused. And, it's important. And I think people forget, if you want to take all these vitamins every day, these pills, and I hate popping pills, you just take a glass of AG1, water mixed in with a scoop of AG1. You mix it. It tastes delicious. You're done for the day. Start a happy, healthy routine. Now it's the end of the year. So now is the time to do it. Now, I know, Tom, we talk about it ad nauseum, but you use it.
No, I mean, listen, I just went to Copenhagen for a con and I came back and I was sick and I spent a couple of days feeling sorry for myself. And then I was like, you know what? And I mixed up some AG1 and I'm telling you, within a day or two, I started feeling a lot better. I mean, the other thing about pills is when you're popping all those different vitamins, you have to space them out because you can't take 15 at once.
No.
With AG1, you down it, you're good.
Yeah. And what are your health goals for the new year? You want to start something healthy. This is a great routine and it's easy. It's right there for you. It's a glass of water mixed in with this AG1. And AG1 has so many minerals and probiotics and prebiotics. It's just what you need to get going in the day. I love it. Tom loves it. So many of our patrons love it. And you'll love it too. So this new year, try AG1 for yourself. It's the perfect time to start a new healthy habit. And that's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com drinkag1.com/talkville to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/talkville to start your new year on a healthier note. Now it's time for the hotline, folks. Let's go to the hotline. Get your questions in. But right now we're going to go to patron privilege. And we're going to start out with Michael P. Our good buddy Michael P. He's always got good insight.
Hey everyone, it's Michael P. from Texas. In the episode Oracle, we see Jonathan Kent make another appearance since his death in the episode Reckoning. I'm curious as a viewer, do you feel that these appearances post-Reckoning actually hurt the impact that his death has for the rest of the season? Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
Yeah, because he just died, and so now we're seeing this. I didn't feel that way, but I don't know. I didn't feel that way. I don't think it has an impact. I think, in other words, if he was just dead and he didn't come back in any way, but Milton Fine's a mean son of a bee, and this is what he does, and so.
Yeah, it was Milton manipulating the Kents to get something
really
for his gain.
So
and he thought he could get Clark to
I
murder
think
Lionel.
it worked. Let's go to Brian. Brian Tist.
Hey guys, this is Brian from Virginia. At the beginning of this episode, Clark receives a pair of tickets to a baseball game that Jonathan left for him as a birthday present, to which Martha says, your father and his baseball.
This is what I said.
When in 100+ episodes has there ever been any mention of baseball
Thank
whatsoever
you.
on this series? Football? Yes, many times. Both Jonathan and Clark were football players. Baseball? Never. Loved meeting you both in Persephone. Smallville Nights was fantastic. Take care.
You rock, buddy. And you know what? You're right. You validated everything, Brian. Thank you.
I know why now, though.
Why?
Because this episode aired in the spring. This is close to the end of the season. This aired in May. There's no football happening. It's baseball season.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But there was the snowy scene, though. There's no
Because you guys
winter.
probably shot it in the
this is
winter.
Amy from West Virginia.
Listen what Amy says about
I don't know
it.
if you guys noticed, but in the opening scene, Clark gets these baseball tickets, and then he goes to the grave and there's snow on the ground. But if he was going to a baseball game, I thought that was like a spring or summer thing, so I didn't know if there was like
Amy, again, you and Brian have validated me. Thank you. Let's go to Dr. Jace E.A.
They shot it in the winter.
Whatever, Trevor.
Lionel had an appointment on
Hey
Cinco
guys,
de
Dr.
Mayo.
JCA from Houston here. Quick question regarding the end of the season, Oracle and Bethel. It sets the stage that Zod is coming as the villain, which they've been building all season 5. But Alan Miles has said that season 5 was supposed to be the end originally. So was Zod going to be the series finale villain, or did that change somewhere along the line? Thanks, guys. Bye.
Should we call Alan this?
By the way, that whole thing about baseball tickets, shot May Cinco de Mayo and a snow scene. That's what happens when your show is written in Los Angeles and you shoot in Vancouver.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
Al, you're on the air.
Oh my God, Al, thank you.
Al, we're trying to figure this out. You said season 5 you were assuming could be your last season, so you kind of went balls out, and it's a great season, by the way. But one of the patrons, Dr. JCA, says, if Alan Miles were setting up a potential end in season 5, was Zod going to be the series finale?
Well, I think we knew, weirdly, about 4 episodes into season 5 that season 5 was not going to be our last season, and I think we had already gotten a pickup for season 6 by the time we got to the back of the show.
Thanks, Al. See you later. No, I'm kidding. That's
fair. That's a fair question.
Where are you, Al? Where are you? Is this the middle of the night in Romania?
No, I'm in Dublin. I just got back from we're filming until early December. So
nice.
Then we wrap.
Hey Al, I got my posters for Tim Burton to sign.
We can talk off air about where to send them.
I'm just kidding. But
what's your address?
I got the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I got Edward Scissorhands from the sign. I'm very excited about that.
You're a nerd,
dude. I'm excited. So Wednesday is going to be a great season.
That's the plan. Yeah. So far, it's been turning. It's looking really good. So that's exciting.
That's amazing.
What episode are you guys on now?
We are an episode. This is 21. This is Oracle. Any stories about Oracle?
I'll be honest with you, Michael. At that point, Miles and I they were shooting that when we were off making the Aquaman pilot.
Well, it's the episode really where Fine poses as or shapeshifts into Jonathan Kent. and makes you think that Jonathan wants him to kill Lionel, Clark to kill Lionel, and Lex and Lana are starting to make out, and that's getting pretty cool. So that's sort of where we are, and it's setting up for the big finale. But I thought Oracle was a good episode.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it's a season 5 is a really, really good season.
What can I expect about season 6, Al?
Well, I think here's what you expect about season 6 is we become more Metropolis focused, and I think the interesting thing there and was the introduction of Justin Hartley as Green Arrow.
Right.
So
you mean the tracker?
The tracker is Green Arrow. So I know that, by the way, that show's a huge hit. We believe me, we all, I mean, it's what an incredible, run to go from This Is Us and then to your next hit. Justin's great. I mean, we loved working with him on the Aquaman pilot. When that didn't go, we're like, we got to put him in Smallville. And I think, he brings a new dimension. He's somebody who's, and we can talk more about this when you guys get to season 6. But he brought something new. He was somebody who was actively out there, kind of fighting crime and doing the thing that, and he kind of gets Clark. I think he's the one who finally gets Clark kind of off the bench more than just Clark feeling guilty and helping when he's something's. Clark is kind of a reactive hero, and I think once you get with the Green Arrow, he becomes a more active hero.
I like it. By the way, it's pretty nice to see Kyle Gallner, who was the Flash. He's working a lot. He did this movie Strange Darling, and he did Smile, and he's working a lot. He's a great guy. I had him on the Inside of You podcast.
No, and I heard that episode. He's a really good actor.
He is. He's a really good actor.
To see him, and you could see that when he was young. And it's just and it's so good that he's
working.
That he's working and has has had a long career. So.
We did not like the episode called Fade, where the guy keeps disappearing and like he's invisible man. I'm like, we did this in Shimmer. What are we doing here? You don't remember. You were filming Aquaman.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, neither do we. And I just saw it.
That's the impression it made.
It's invisible in your memory.
Faded from my memory.
Oh my God. Well, dude, we love you, and maybe we'll try to call you for the season finale when we do that. And if you answer, you answer. We just try to get lucky with you.
Absolutely.
All right, we love you, buddy. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Al. You're the best.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
How does he hear me when I talk? That's amazing.
He's a good guy. He loves us. It's obvious.
Hi, this is Gabe calling about the episode Oracle. This episode is part 1 of a 3-part episode story arc. I personally believe that Smallville pioneered long-form storytelling in network television. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I remember episodes of like All in the Family with Archie Bunker where they live a cliffhanger and then there's like a little storyline for a couple episodes, and it's been done. But I don't know. I remember it being done on other shows. But I don't know. I could be wrong. But here's Albert. Thanks, Gabe.
Hello, this is Albert from Toronto, Canada, and I'm actually just sitting here watching the episode Oracle, which I know is way ahead of where you guys are currently, but I need to know, who is the gorgeous woman working behind the counter when they cut to the talent where Lana is just picking up an order of 2 coffees, and she comments about how tricky one of the machines is to use. That girl is just drop dead gorgeous.
Do you know what? I remember that too. I remember going,
what?
I remember, whoa, she's pretty.
And they gave her a line, so she got paid.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Wait, hold on. I'll look it up if you want.
You look it up.
Hi, this is Natalie from Michigan. We see a lot more Kryptonian symbols in this episode, from Lionel writing them down. I've always wondered, did the writers keep any kind of reference of what certain symbols meant for continuity? Just curious. Thanks.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think, especially.
I'm sure somebody was responsible for keeping the symbols.
Yeah. I mean, some continuity of what they looked like, but I don't think there was, until they have to read them. I think when they read them, they have to be similar in the readings to.
There is I've learned this from fans at cons. There is a Kryptonian language. There's an alphabet, and they put symbols together. It is a thing. Yeah,
Tom, you just saved us because we would get reamed by fans.
I've seen people say, they've got Kryptonian written, and they're like, "Check this out," and I'm like, "Cool. What does it say?" And they're like, "You don't know?" I'm like, "No, I have no idea." Like,
it's a fake language, and this is what it means.
Yeah, so the fans taught me that.
Hey, if they like it, that's cool.
Her name is Ecstasia Sanders.
Okay,
we were asking the
is she working?
I just have IMDb. Yeah.
She have a phone number there? Kidding.
I do not
this
have
guy
IMDb
wanted
Pro.
it. This guy wanted it. Here we go.
I'm not a pro member.
Shane.
Hey guys, this is Shane from Michigan. I have a comment about season 5, episode 21, Oracle. I have a new t-shirt idea. Something along the lines of Kents don't always win their fights, but they always toss some Luthors around.
Kents don't always win their fights, but they always toss those Luthors around. I like it. Here's Charlie. Actually,
tossing Luthors is like a good
Hey, Michael.
softball name.
Hey, Tom. This is Charlie from Copper Hill, Tennessee. And I just got a question for you. On the episode where Jonathan dies, when Minor confirmed about Clark, was he really trying to explain to him that he's the Oracle of Jor-El, or was he blackmailing him, or both? I just want y'all opinion on this. Keep up the good work. Thanks, guys.
I think Jor-El always has ulterior motives. He's a kind of a weird dude. I don't know. I
mean, what does he really want out of Clark? What does he want?
I don't know. International. Here's an international folks. A text, Pitar. Michael, since this is your first time watching the episode, how early were you able to sniff things out with Jonathan Kent?
Oh, how early could you tell that Jonathan was not Jonathan, like the ghost of Jonathan, that it was actually Milton?
Was it because he was asking Clark to act out of character?
After the first scene, when I was like, there's something wrong. This is not him. He's acting weird. He would never have his son kill someone. That's never, and I knew right away. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I don't know what I would do, and so many people around the world and my listeners would do without BetterHelp. For some, wrapping up in a blanket with a mug of hot chocolate or watching a movie with family is the best way to spend the month of December. However you spend the holidays, we want you to remember to take some time for you this holiday season and find some comfort. Therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the seasons change. Therapy from BetterHelp is helping for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, you got to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire. It takes no time at all, and you get matched with a licensed therapist. You could switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. It's that easy. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/talkville today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkville.
Rosenbaum rating. What are you going to give this, Ryan?
And now, Rosenbaum rating.
I don't know, because there's one coming up that give me everything. You sort of left some things undone. 1.5.
I'm going to go 1.5. Tom?
1.
1. You didn't love it.
Bleh.
It's a shame because it's the episode before the finale. It's not good that we...
That mess spoke volumes.
Death and save count. 0 dead. Nobody died. Boo. 1 save. Lionel saves Clark, and through 21, 41 dead, 42 saved. 177 dead in the series, 189 saved. Ryan's favorite scene. It's Ryan, his favorite scene.
All right. Scene 1, super fight in the barn with John and Joan.
With John Glover and John Schneider?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Scene 2, Clark and Lex argue, and their friendship is likely over.
It's been over.
Scene 3, Lionel confesses to Martha.
That's kind of tough because I know you like your Martha. Yeah, I kind of feel like the fight was badass. Tom goes with 1. I go with 1.
Yeah, 1.
1.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's cool.
That's it for the episode. Stick around next week as we get a big arrival closing out season 5 with the finale in episode 22, Vessel. Let us know your thoughts and socials at Talkville Podcast, at Talkville Pod. Show your support by joining Patron and supporting us, patreon.com/Talkville. And if you want more information like merch from the show on our hotline number, you can find all that in the description. And remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville. We'll see you next week. Later, guys. Well, we couldn't forget our lovable patrons who make this show freaking possible. It's you, patreon.com/talkville to support our show. So we hope you continue to support us. And please, if you're not, do it. You get your names read out and you're supporting the show that you love and that we do every week. And so if you want another season, here we go. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, ThomasTomTurner, Shane W, BetsyD, Abhi P, Rae H, KarenApple M, 99 more.
Leilani N. Brett G, always on Smallville, Charlie T. I just talked to him the other day on Cameo. Always good to see him. Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Osama A, always in the house. Lana, Rams with Bananas W. Nancy D, Brian G, YVRGrips.
Amanda R, Teddy127, Michael P, Ryan R, Jordan M, Randy B, Craig G, Jarrell, Heather and Greg, or Grether. I made Talkville say butts, Brian H, Eric K.
Clark's M, Kristen B, Jeff and Nan Weber, exclamation point. Darth Achilles, Finky, early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, Deadvid, General Zod, Theodore, Jammin' J, Doug R, Carlos C, Tommy Z, Boston 68. Always love hearing from you. Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, and D Brown.
KarenApple M, Jules M, Eldon Supremo, Leslie V, Brian P, McBurts, Ginger Moose, Christoph S, Michelle M, Leah W, Amanda Lynn, Michael Kang Doesn't Blink, Sebastian F, Wolfie, Matthew Lincoln B, Breyer, Charlene A, Marion Louise L, Caesar, a.k.a. CGO.
Cindy C, Shannon, Fofanon, Tina E, Matt Maverick, good one, Jen T, Randy S, Cassie B, Brad A, Felicia R, Danny Mo Mirabel, JS, Mary K, Rachel D, Steve, and Nate Danger. When you're rich, you aren't crazy or eccentric.
Carrie Ann. Hey, Carrie Ann. The Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Jenny B76, Anna B, Monica T, Jeffrey K, Pip Kenobi, Katya C, Katya C, I caught you, see. Previously on Smallville, Keith B, Kookie K, Libertaria, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, The Salty Ham, David L, Madison H, Mika J.
Kelowna A, my pups Lex, Shelby, Kara. I say Kara. Some people say Kara. Natalia, Dr. J, love the Sixers. Lesser leather, never weathered, better weather, better. Thanks. That's fun. You know I'm not good at that stuff, you guys. Dr. G and Dr. T, Krypton Knight, that's a good one. Brandon C, Ned L, Flirtatious B, Persix, Kurgan K.
Naman L, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kai W, J Burke, Kendrick F, CC Storm, Stacy L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Starla L, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, Bobby and Isa from Queens, AG Sison, Heather H, Mickey L, Manchild _art, Bobby, Brett, Team Lex, Allison C. I like people do this to just like, because they're not clear, a lot of them. So we're going to mess this up constantly. Unless it's clear and phonetically spelt, we're going to mess it up. It's your name we're shouting out. So,
I mean, I only want to listen to this if we're messing it up.
Yeah, we're sorry. Yeah, we got to mess it up. I think people do that on purpose. Anyway, we love you. Thanks for supporting us.